oftentimes when I go into a classroom, I tell kids, all right, here's our challenge. Here's the problem we're going to try and solve today, and you guys get to build it. And then I tell them, I brought most of my usual stuff that's on the STEAM card. Now, at this point, our students, they typically know. I still show them what's in my bins, but I think it's important to see what are my typical things that I take to classrooms so that kids can build. So I thought I would start with the cardboard. I always have an assortment of cardboard ready to go. I've got a big tub that, as I get lots of Amazon boxes, I kind of check my tub and see where I am. If I need to cut some more, then I cut the boxes up. And then that way I always have bits of cardboard to put into a bin. I've got short pieces, I've got small pieces, I've got some larger pieces, so that there's cardboard for kids to work with. Cardboard's great to use because I do get so many Amazon packages, or at least here at school, other people get them, even if I'm not getting them. It's there, it's waiting for me, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. I also usually show up with straws. I've got this bin that's got an assortment of straws in it. I do have some full-size bendy straws. Occasionally I throw in some straight ones. I don't really have, I think there's a couple in there. Maybe I should add some more. But then I also have Ziplocs with pieces of straw already cut. These are the clear ones or colored ones. I've got a nice Ziploc full of black straight straws that have been cut. And I do have a couple of coffee stirrer straws, just because I just don't know what the kids are going to want. I also have my bin of popsicle sticks. I do like to have both sizes, both the wide, long ones and the more standard size popsicle stick, just so that kids have those. I think I might need to add some more of the wide ones for today's activity. And I do usually have a small container with metally things. So metally things would be like small paper clips. It might also be, in today I've got 2 or 3 different sizes of the brads, you know, the little brass things with the legs that open up. I've got some clothespins and I've got some binder clips. Yeah, those are in my metally things then. Because it is students, I really like my hot glue gun sets. I've got a couple of different of these. These are silicone baking mats. I do also have flat ones. I'm just going to take my 2 with the ridges today because for today's activity, I probably only need to plug in 4, 5, maybe 6 hot glue guns. So 2 or 3 fit really nicely on these blue ones. I do have the flat black ones, which are nice so that when kids are working on the floor, they don't get hot glue all over the carpet. And in the hot glue gun bin, I've got my extension cord reel. Sometimes I do put it on a clip here on my cart, but for today, it's just in my bin. I've got the super low temp hot glue guns. Mine have been through a lot. Most of the time they come with the little silicone yellow bumper so that the only hot part is just that teeny tiny little silver tip. But mine have been through a lot, so sometimes my silicone bumpers are missing. I've got some just plain extension cords in here so that from my reel I can move kids further out so they can spread out. And of course I've got hot glue refills. Gotta say, I really like the 8-inch ones because then I don't have these floating everywhere. Kids go through the short 4-inch ones pretty quickly, whereas the 8-inch ones last a little bit longer. We're not having to constantly refill, which is nice. So I've got my hot glue guns on my cart. I have a bin of plastic pieces. This is my larger items, plastic pieces, and it really just depends on what I've been able to salvage before it goes in the recycling bin or the trash. Today I've got some Easter eggs, just because I buy those on clearance after Easter, so I've got some plastic things. I've got some pill containers, and when I save these, I do wash them. I do run them through my dishwasher. I've got clear plastic that was packaging for different things. Who knows what they came from. I've got some egg carton pieces in here. I've got some bubble wrap. There's some foam wrapping stuff. What else do I have? Oh, this random hook that was from some, maybe I bought socks or tights, I don't even know. An old gum or mint container. I do have some things that aren't salvaged from the recycling. I've got my 4-ounce little like side dish cups. I've got some of those in there. Got random things like former Scotch tape holders. You know, anything that's kind of like medium to large plastic, I've got here in my plastic bin. I also have found that it's sensible to have a small plastic bin as well, because if I could fit all of this stuff in here, but then all these small pieces go to the bottom and kids don't see that they're available. So I've got things like, I've got 2 different sizes, I thought I had 2, yep, 2 different sizes of the lids that go on the side dish things. I've got different size caps. I've got mesh for vegetables, different caps. I think this was for a coffee creamer. There's handles for magnifying glasses that I've popped off. There's just, those applesauce, fruit, snack, whatever. Those tops are always great to have around. And then just any weird plastic things that I've saved for being thrown out. I have them, I put them in my bins. Sometimes they're in my bins for a while. Sometimes a kid comes along and is like, this is just the thing. And I'm so happy that this hang tag for it still is a large drill bit that we have at home, but we don't need the hang tag, so it comes to school and I have it in my bins. I also, along with the cut pieces, rectangles of cardboard, I do like to have the paper products that already have a form. So that's things like, we bought boxes of light bulbs, and these inserts were in there to keep the light bulbs, so I've got these. This was obviously tried out by somebody and then abandoned. I've got small paper cups. I've got the El Cheapo paper plates. I've got things like paper bowls in here. Of course, I definitely keep on top of my paper towel roll supply, and always have these available for kids along with toilet paper rolls. I do not give kids toilet paper rolls if we're ever doing anything where it's going to go up to their mouths, but if they're just building with it, I figure they're fine. I've got some of these weird square tubes from a colleague who did a closet renovation, and so I've cut those up. I've got weird things like masking tape rolls. I've got frozen yogurt cups, and I've got a couple of small boxes in here. This one was from batteries, and I have no idea what this was from, but just some, random cardboard things that I've saved and haven't let anyone throw out. Pipe cleaners. Always have pipe cleaners. Depending on the age and the activity, sometimes I won't do pipe cleaners and instead I'll do wiki sticks, but I pretty much always have pipe cleaners available. The kids are very, very adept at using them and feel confident with them. Plus they can add a little extra, snazzy color fluff, so they have the aesthetic appeal. And for this activity, for the one that I'm building this cart for, we're working with magnets, so the pipe cleaners are nice because they are magnetic, and that might be a benefit for the kids. But sometimes I do wiki sticks, although not as often because those are a little bit more expensive. Today I will have aluminum foil in the classes that I've done this activity because we are working with magnets. Not a whole lot of kids have gone for the aluminum foil because they've done some exploration. They know that the aluminum foil is not magnetic, but occasionally there's a kid who wants something shiny and silver. I have my masking tape, which I haven't done it yet, but will become part of my tape temples. I'll get that going. I hate to do it too far in advance because then stuff gets stuck in them and they get smushed flat. I've got some rubber bands, and I've got a long piece of the wire. I got this on clearance after the holidays last year. It was at the grocery store. I think it was there in a long roll with one of those like little clippers that was part of the package for holiday decorations, like if you're gonna tie up garland in your house. But I like to keep this on hand because then I can cut it to length really easily just with a pair of scissors. Now, the things that I keep on the top of my cart, I tell the kids, all right, I've got tin foil, I've got rubber bands, I've got long pieces of wire for you. But I ask them that if it stays on my cart, that they need to ask an adult for help because, to be honest, my husband can't work a roll of tin foil really well, so why would I expect first graders to know how to rip it neatly? And they will go a little crazy with the rubber bands if I just have them out. They'll just use them like hair on their creation, and I'm not really interested in supplying rubber bands just to be fancy.